Okay, let's get to it. Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Let me get my energy strength back up. I've just done a live on Instagram, so a lot of the energy is depleted, but let me get my energy back up. Today we're going to talk about a very, very common, oh my God, topic. And that is they call it timing. I think somebody doesn't want us to talk about it. Okay. If you've ever watched my lives in the morning, you'll understand what that was. Right. Topic of conversation. Over the years that I've been working with clients on a one-to-one level, I've retired now, but it used to be this: hi Mark, can you help? Okay, basically my sister or my best friend or my brother or my mother or my father is now seeing what I believe is somebody who is dark, psychopathic, narcissistic is normally one of them, a manipulator, a liar and a cheat. I really don't know what to do. So that's the topic of conversation today, guys, and we're going to do a deep dive and we're going to try and see if we can run through this and explain as many things. Well, I'll try and explain as many things as I can on a spiritual level of why you and somebody that you love is going through that particular situation. First of all, no one, I repeat, no one is exempt to this path. And normally it's definitely part of one of our lifetime's experiences that we choose to go through. There are different levels of this experience, but it ultimately comes down to power and taking and stealing your power. Basically what that means is, are you worthy of yourself, or is somebody else more important than you? A bit like putting yourself on the back burner when you're helping everybody, but you don't help yourself. In the eyes of somebody else, they can see that and see that other people could be taking advantage of you, but in actual fact, maybe you're doing it because you feel it's the right thing to do. There's different perspectives all the time on any given singular soul that goes through that journey. However, the talk we're talking about today is that our feeling of what we're seeing when we're seeing our best friend disappear, we just wave goodbye to them, right? Because that's ultimately what happens. And then we may say hello to them again when they're broken and on their floor. So what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is that they're going to come back one day, or you'll never see them again. If they come back one day, then they're going to be a mess. That's the kind of worst case scenario. Or you never see them again and that's it, it's finished. So they'll always be on your mind and you'll have that pain and suffering. So a typical example was, hi Mark, how are you? I'm very well. My sister is going out with this absolute lunatic, and she cannot see. I've tried to explain to her, I've tried to help her, and the things that I've tried to do to help her was so giving, so kind, that something that it turned back on me, and now she hates me for it. Well, that's a very common pattern, because imagine you are in a relationship with a narcissistic psychopath who's an abuser, both mind, body and spirit. So basically what they do is they manipulate you, and then they start to tell you things about anybody who is a threat to their possible exposure. So if you think about that, if I'm a narcissistic, don't think about me being a narcissistic. Stop doing that. Okay, imagine Barry is a narcissistic. Barry then meets a beautiful person, and he wants to control her. And in Barry is jealousy, anger, bitterness, fear, and a lack of self-worth. So Barry meets somebody that meets somebody who's showing love and empathy towards that person. So that person could be your sister or your brother or your mum or your dad, and they're wanting to help, because that's normally what happens. The truth is that when you meet somebody, well, there's a double energy here. When you meet somebody, you feel that you can help them. This is often a pattern that we're going through. We want to help this person. And secondly, I'll tell you there is actually three things, but the second thing is that we are so lonely that we don't judge others. We don't look at them and see their negativity. We don't see their fears. We see, like, if you don't want to be with this man, you're going to see his negativity in a way that is negative. You're going to see his issues in a negative way. If you have feelings for somebody, you're going to push them aside and see, oh, I can help them. So you've got to understand from your sister's point of view, or your brother's or your mum's or your dad's. I'll just stick with sister's point of view. Or let's say best friend, your best friend's point of view, right? She's been your best mate. You love her to bits. You've always been there. You know her inside and out. Then all of a sudden she meets somebody, right? And she meets somebody and you're going, you don't seem the same person anymore. What do you mean? Well, you don't seem happy. You seem sad. Yeah, but it's not me, it's him. He's going through and I need to help him. Oh, okay, but he's stopping you from your happiness. I know, but I need to help him. Yeah, but this isn't you, and why are you doing that for him? He's a stranger, and yeah, because I love him. Okay, but look at what you're sacrificing in your life for him. And why don't we talk to each other anymore? Oh, because I'm busy. I'm busy helping him. Is that really true? Let's call her Tracy. Tracy, is that really true? Are you really helping him? Or is something going on? Because I feel maybe something's going on because you're not the same person. You don't call anymore and you don't come and see me anymore. And it's like we can't go out together. Well, he just wants me to be there. Well, that's a little bit selfish, don't you think? Yeah, but okay, maybe he's a bit jealous. Well, that's exactly what I felt, and that is not good. Why should he be jealous if you love him? And do you not show your love to him? Yeah, I do. Well then, Tracy, if you show your love to him, then surely he understands that, and if he doesn't, then there's something wrong with him. Oh yeah, but. Well, look, what's wrong? I don't know. He needs help. Well, maybe I can try and help. Okay, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. What can you do? Well, maybe I can do this and that for him. Next minute, okay, thanks, I'll tell him. Next minute, you don't hear anything. And next minute, your best friend is now attacking you. And you're going, hang on a minute. I'm just trying to help. So what happened is Tracy went and says, Jane tried to help. She's wanted to help. I don't want anything from. Look what she's doing to us. Look what she's doing to us. Look what she's doing to you. Look at who does she think? Look, who does she think she is? Look. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. She is horrible. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to speak to you anymore. Tracy, what's wrong with you? You just treat us like this. I'm just trying to help. You see what I mean? So basically, this is just one case of 1,000 cases. Like, my dad, my mum died, and my dad's now met this new woman, and she's a beast. She's awful. She's treating my dad like a mat, a rug, and I hate her. And my dad's not listening, and my dad doesn't love me anymore because he's not listening, and he's still with her. Okay, and she looks at me and she doesn't speak to me. She's got a jealous eye, right? So all of these things are very similar in nature, and what that is that you've got somebody who hasn't overcome abuse, who hasn't really got the strength inside because they work on a mindset level, a fear level. They live in fear most of the time. There's not a warrior energy that they can go into inside them. They don't feel that warrior energy. Reason why is because they haven't been through that experience to be able to conquer it. They might have been through patterns that are like, oh, this is happening again, and they still haven't experienced that communication with their spirit to say enough is enough. So they keep going through it. They keep getting smashed by another person and another person, another psycho, another whatever you want to call them, narcissistic, a cheater. It doesn't matter. So what's happening here with your friend or your family member is that they're going through an experience. That is an experience they have to go through. It's part of life. It's called life. That's why I said, on some level, you'll go through that experience if you think about it. We've all gone through it, whether it's with a friend or not somebody that you didn't know, and you got pulled into something. Same. So don't judge them. Don't judge them. Don't ever judge people that you haven't been in their shoes and walked their footsteps for a mile or two. You've heard that saying. Don't judge them, but try and understand it. This video is about overcoming it, and I'm going to try and help you overcome it. Once you've got the gist of what I'm saying, we're going to try and overcome it. So we've seen all across the border of how beautiful souls, right, get taken advantage. Kind, caring, don't call them stupid, don't call them weak. They're not. They're beautiful souls. And in truth, nobody should be treated in that way if they're a beautiful soul. But like any bully, like any lost soul with an empty, soulless energy, they're going to take advantage of beautiful, kind, caring people because they see that as a weakness. It happens. So when you see that, you say, you know, my friend or my mum, my dad is a beautiful soul. They're so kind and so caring. And here they go again, trying to help somebody. But like I said, it's a dual energy. They need to figure out why they keep going back to abusers and people that are not very nice. So that's their path, not yours. Worst thing you can do is try and help. The worst thing that you can do is try and force your thoughts, opinions, and truth on your friend. Now, here's the greatest trick, the greatest wisdom, the greatest nugget of truth, the truest truth. You look up if you're ever in this situation, and no matter how painful it is, you look up and you do this. Okay, guys, you know what's going on. You know how I feel. I promise I will not say a bloody word unless she comes to me and asks for my help or advice. That is my commitment to you. So I'm here. By doing that, you serve two purposes. One, you serve a purpose of not hurting yourself. Because if you're watching what's going on, it's going to rip you into pieces. And that is not your journey. That is your test to overcome. And that's why you're watching this. There is no such thing as coincidence. That's why you're watching this. You have to overcome this. You have to become stronger in it. So if you die tomorrow, I know it sounds awful, and you don't die, but if you were to leave this world, do you think everything is going to stop in their life? Do you think it's going to get worse and it's going to fall apart? There's always somebody to help at that point. Plus the fact it's their path, their journey, and only they can heal this, not you. So you can't fix them. No matter how much you want to try. Stop being with them. Look what they're doing to you. Don't know what you're talking about. Tracy, stop! What you're talking about is lovely. She's lovely. They're lovely. They're really nice. Oh no, you don't understand them. Yeah, it's your problem. So it comes back at you. Because there is something in this that I noticed that people who came to me, when I asked them afterwards that they got over it, as a healer, I never used to say to a client, you're going out with a narcissistic, even though I knew it. You're going out with an abuser. They come with black and blue eyes. They come down like last time I did it here. It was awful. A girl, she was, 21 years old, 22. She had two black eyes. She came to the front of the door. I don't normally do healing sessions anymore, but I felt the pain. She came in. She'd been beaten up by another guy across the water over here. She lied down to give her a healing session. I didn't say anything to her. I just gave her a hug, give her a healing session, and let her go. The only person who will truly understand what she's going through is herself. And if she can't connect inside this here, I can't do that. It's like you can bring a horse to water. You can bring my Lily to water, but she ain't going to drink it if she don't want it. So what I'm going to do is bring the water to her and leave it there, and it's up to her if she wants to drink it. If she doesn't, I'm not going to panic about it, or else I'm going to have a crap day and worry about it. Whereas Lily ain't even bothered about the water. Get it? So you say in this way, I'm always here for you. And you say that to your friend, your mum, your dad. Listen, I'm always here. I love you. And whatever you decide to do, you're in my heart and prayers, and I love you. I send you my blessings to you and your partner. By doing that, you're actually, you're breaking down the suffering and the pain and the resentment and the energy that they're trying to protect by sending love and saying, look, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm so sorry that I said anything. I love you. I love you both. If you both make each other happy, you're both happy. That's all I'm bothered about. I love you and I'm always here. My door's open. Esta, nada más. Finito! Full stop. Leave it there. Walk away. And then focus on your friend every day and focus on the sicko, the nutwit, the plonker, the narcissistic psychopath, and send him healing every day. Send him healing. He needs most healing, because if he's not going to hurt her today, then your friend's going to feel a lot better. But you also send your friend healing to her heart and strengthen her heart so she can see clearly what's going on. So the point being about this conversation, and I've gone all over, of course I always do, but point being is that your friend, your mum, your dad, whoever it is, Tracy, has to go through this. This is her path. This is her journey. And if you stop this from happening by pulling her away, guess what? Yeah, it's going to happen again. Until Tracy figures out, or whoever it is you're thinking about, until they figure out what they're doing wrong and what they need to do in their life to conquer it, then there is nothing any of us can do. And you might say, oh, don't be stupid. I helped so-and-so. I told them, like, look at this. This person isn't good for you. I bet they've gone through it again, and I bet they'll always go through it. So my daughter used to ride a bike. I let her fall. I didn't want her to fall, but I let her fall. And how I let her fall is, okay, she needs to fall because she needs to know, she needs to understand how to balance herself as she's falling. But she needs to fall to find a balance, right? So where's she going to fall? I'll bring it onto some grass. So if she falls on the grass, it's not going to hurt her, right? So what we're doing is we're helping our friends by saying, I love you with all my heart. I'm always here for you, but do it in a way that's not patronizing and saying, oh yeah, you're just saying that just because you think that one day it's all going to fall apart. Just say I love you and I miss you, love you. That's it. Maybe that's probably even better. I love you and miss you. Big kisses. Have a great day. Nothing to entice them into getting angry, knowing that they're in this. I mean, to be truthful, guys, they already know they're in a bad relationship, but they look at their lives and think, well, what they fear more being alone than they do with a narcissistic, because at least there's something to think about and do. And you know, at least he thinks about me sometimes. And you know, the reason why he hits me is because he really cares. All this nonsense, all this trying to make sense of all of this. Oh, I'm with him, and you know, okay, maybe he is a bit of a bum. But you know, he's trying his best. It's like, excuse. You don't get involved. Let them talk to themselves about what's happening. Let them see. Let them overcome it in their own way. So, a great tip is to send healing to both of them. First of all, send healing to him, because like I said, if he doesn't hit her that day or cause her pain and suffering that day by his emotional abuse and attacks, then that's a good day for her, because you love her and that's all you're bothered about, right? So it's a good thing. Yeah, I don't want to send him anything. Well, that's not right, because if you love your friend, then that's more important. Or is it your ego that you're talking about, and that's the only reason why you want your friend, because you want her back in your life and not because of him, because that's another situation. But if you know what I'm saying and you truly love your friend, sister, mum, dad, whoever it is who's going through this, then you're going to send healing to the sick psychopath who's causing damage to them, because you don't want him to hurt the person that you love. Makes sense to me, and that's what I used to do. So when anybody came to me and says, my daughter's going out with a guy who's in prison and he's killed 4 people, I don't go, oh my God, quick, everybody. No, I just say, okay, let's send healing to this guy now. And they look at me and say, are you serious? I'm saying, absolutely. Let's send healing to him now. Yeah, but I don't want him to get better so that she marries him. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. We need to send healing to him. So, and I don't want to go into a deep dive into that, but there is a reason for it, and it normally presents itself, and for the other person to feel and see them in their true colors. So there is something in that as well, but I don't do it for that reason. I do it for the reason that I don't want any suffering to happen to your daughter. So I've had this loads of times. What I've just explained to you now is an absolute fact. I swear on my on my daughter. I swear that a lady came to me who was getting married. Her daughter was getting married to a guy who killed 3 people. Okay, and I knew it was never going to happen. I knew it would all resolve itself, and it did. It all resolved itself. But I explained to the mother that she has to go through these things. Your daughter is a beautiful, sensitive, kind, but she's feeling that, look, life isn't about this and that, and I'm with somebody and I am not judging, and you can go overboard of all of this giving and kindness and caring. It's like the guy who left for an island where there were cannibals and got eaten, right? It's kind of like, it's that kind of energy. So some people do that. Why did I just go off on one? So let's get back to the situation. I've explained to you now that, or have I, that the narcissistic always looks for somebody that he can control. Is it that important that we need to talk about him? No, it's not really. So Tracy is now living a personal experience that is something that she's taken on board and that she feels is her life. So basically she's now made a commitment, and that commitment is to this narcissistic. So no matter what, she will not leave him. She will go through all that she needs to do because she feels that she can fix him. She feels that she knows him, and she feels that she can make a difference in his life. And she is now trying to come up with like a lawyer in a courtroom is trying to come up with nuggets of well, he's really kind, he's got nice eyes, and so she's building up something, like she's creating to hold on to that and say, okay, this is who he is really. She chooses not to see that this guy is going through some terrible issues, and he really truly doesn't really care about her at all, but he uses her as a punch bag, and he hits her all the time, and no matter how much she tries, he's going to keep hitting her and doing things that, to all of us watching, is the most awful thing that we can do, that anybody can do. So we're sat there, and we now have this new idea that Mark says, okay, I'm going to send healing to him, and I'm going to send healing to her. And Mark says the worst thing that can happen is she comes back on the floor, or I never see her again. However, the point being is, we don't look at the worst case scenario. We just say this: okay, my friend is going through her test, like we all do, and her test is with this man, and it's up to her that she conquers that, not you. So what I say then, and this happened to me with my dad. My dad went with a woman who was just like that. And I got pulled into it. And I got pulled into what I was seeing. And it was tearing me up like it's probably you. It was eating me away because I was hating her more and more. It didn't help at all. And eventually my dad saw it and overcome it, and it left. But my feeling is that the in-between, how did I, this is how you need to look at yourself. There's going to be a start, which you're already in, and there's going to be an end, always is. How did you cope with the in-between? That's the vital part. If you can see now that in 2 years or 1 year or 5 years, that your friend, your family member comes back to you and then says, that was so bad, right? No problem. If you know that's going to happen, which it will, they'll be fine. They'll come back to you one day. I promise you that. And they'll be your best friend again, and they'll apologize, and they'll say, I'm sorry I went through it, and you're going to hug them and say it's absolutely fine. What are you going to do with the in-between? Look at it now. What are you going to do with it? How did I cope with the in-between? Didn't do very well, did you? Did you? You didn't do very well, did you? Okay, well, now you've got a second chance to do well. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, and you can say, okay, this makes sense. I am now going to stop, and I'm going to see my friend end result as now. So my friend will one day see the light. She will enlighten herself, and she will overcome this experience. And I'm going to say, wow, well done you. I don't know how long it took, but you know what? I always knew this day would come. Give us a hug. I'm so happy for you. I love you. And let her talk to you. Just get ready for her to open up to you and talk to you. If at any point your friend comes and starts crying and opens up, Listen to your intuition and ask yourself, am I going to say too much? Or am I going to kill it? And she reverts back to the same position. This is an important point. Okay, it happened to me a few times. Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that because they've gone straight back to the point. So what would be your answer after learning this from many clients? I would say, hold them and say, whatever you choose to do, I'm here for you and I love you with all my heart. And I know whatever you do is the right thing. That's the answer. That's the answer. Because you're putting the power back to them. What do you think you should do? Put the power back to them when they ask you, if they ask you, what do you feel? Because whatever you feel, I know is right. And then they start to go, okay, you know, bloody right. You're right, enough is enough. Just like when clients lied down after they've been beaten black and blue. Never said anything, just gave them healing. And then they opened their eyes and this was a common few words. Thank you, Mark. I now know what I need to do. I smile, give them a hug, and then they go. And then I see them a month later, 6 months later, with somebody who's a beautiful soul, who treats them like gold, loves them, and like, wow. But if it wasn't for what you went through, then you did it. You conquered what you needed to do. If I conquered it for you, you'll just go back to the same thing. So be aware that if we interfere too much in people's journeys, that we can bring them right back to where they start. And when we meet them in the spirit world, they'll go, you shouldn't have done that. You should have left me. I needed to do it. So always remember that and say that to yourself. Okay, if it was me, truly, if it was me going out with somebody, who could help me? People can say, yeah, don't do that, don't do that. It's like, but who can really know me? I know when is the right time to go. So if you are the abuser, the right time to go is when you feel it's right, nobody else. If somebody's telling you to go and you go, you went because of them. And guess what? You can now blame them. I knew I shouldn't have gone. It's your fault, right? And so be careful when you tell people what to do, because it could backfire at you. Don't try and help too much because it can backfire at you. Help, oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do this for you and him. And then it's like, boom, boom, right back at you. No. Don't. Let them go through their experience. Honor it. Oof. Really? You want me to honor it, Mark? I do. I want you to honor it because you know that your friend is going through, or your family member is going through a very difficult test and challenge. So you honor it and say, wow, that's powerful. You must be a powerful soul and you will get through it. I know it. I know you will. But you say it to yourself. You don't say it to them. Don't do anything to cause them to create more of a barrier around themselves towards you. Think clever. Box clever. Zip it up. Much better. Stop helping. Let them be. And sometimes it moves on much quicker. Don't look at it. It's like watching the kettle boil. Takes forever. Don't look at it. Just send your love every day and everything's going to be fine. And the outcome is going to be beautiful. And my friend or my family member or my whoever it is going to grow from this. And then the rest of their life is going to be amazing because then they will meet a beautiful soul. Or maybe not. They might meet somebody on a different energy, which is now a different experience. Anything else, Mark? I wouldn't send letters. I wouldn't try and reassure them. I would just make things simple. And like I said, I think the most profound thing that I found with my clients when I channeled the help of spirit is look up. I'll leave you on this note. Look up and say, okay, guys, help my dear friend out and the narcissistic. Please help as much as you can. I'll send my love. And that's it. Let it be. If my friend wants to come back to me and pour her heart out, I will not say, I told you so. I will not say, he's a bum. I will not say, anything other than, well, I'm here now, I love you, I'm always here for you, give us a cuddle, should we go for a drink, or should we go to the beach, or should we go for a walk, and just let them heal by their experience. It's a bit like I'm giving a healing session to somebody, and when they felt that healing experience, I start telling them about my sciatic nerve and my back issue and my headaches. It's like, what? I didn't come here for that. So if your friend ever does come back to you, don't talk about you. Just shut you up for the day and just listen to your friend and let her talk herself out of the relationship to be able to walk her path. Don't confirm, don't support, just say whatever you decide to do. I am always going to be me, and I'm always here, and I love you with all my heart like I did from the first day. That's it. That's all that you need to say. I hope I've tackled this okay. I probably missed out a few things, but I've done my best today. And I believe that if you're going through this, you are in my heart and soul. I've been there, and my clients have been there. Thousands of clients. It is a normal part of life. Don't think that your friend is any different from most other souls who walk this earth on a spiritual path of experience. Just be there for them in a spiritual sense. That, my friends, is the most powerful act you can give them of love and healing. Have a great day.